If you don't know what that means, ask your parents. Well, 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 that were drafty, wasn't it? Old Storm Dara's done his damage, but these girls are still in. They've not got out since running us around last week, which is good news. The wind wrecked one of the chicken sheds. It's also took a sheet off down the side pitch we're going to go and fix, and it's done this. It's ripped that off the roof of this, and, well, yeah, don't look very healthy, does it? I mean, it's not the best shed in the world, but my God, it's completely buckled it, destroyed it inside. Another good storm, and that's going to be on the floor. You can see it's completely destroyed this end. A big hole there in the roof, that's where that load of sheeting that I showed you at the beginning, that's where that's come from. It's pretty much knackered it. We're gonna have to take it down, but not today. I've got other things to do. In more positive news, this has turned up. This is that cog that goes on the shredder. We're gonna put it on here, and then I've got to just knock that with a sledgehammer, because I might have just backed into it. Yeah, Dad don't know about that yet, but it'll be all right, I'll fix it. If them teeth are supposed to look like them teeth, she's been round a few times. My God, look at the difference. Must be about half worn out. Now there's realistically only one thing that's going to fix this, and it's big and heavy. There you are, look at that. Other than the fact he watches these videos, you'll never know. Okay, next job, we're going to try and fix this sheet up there. I don't quite know how it's happened. The wind's managed to get in it and pop it out, so hopefully I can get over this muck, if I'm lucky, and put a tet screw in the bottom, and then I can get up on top of the bales, because the bales go all the way back. It's super safe, and then put one in at the top. I tell you what, it's a full-time job just keeping this place tidy. Now, whilst to think about it, 9th of January, Stabiliser Cattle Company are holding an open day on our farm, free to attend. Lee Leachman is going to be there. Now, Lee's family are the guys who actually started the Stabiliser breed over in the States. He's flying in from Colorado. He's a world leader in cattle genetics. He's going to do a presentation. I'm going to do a presentation about the farm. There's going to be food there, and then we're going to have a bit of a look around the cows. We'll look around these guys. These are the young bulls. We've got the heifers as well. We're going to just have a look around everything. If you can attend, it'll be well worth it. Just register your interest. I don't know if I can put it up here in the corner or not, but register your interest at the link up there if I can. If I can't, I'll put it in the description down below. As I said, free to attend, well worth coming. I'd love to see you there. Anyway, let's get on with some proper work. I've got the bobble out because it's curled. So the cows are still out. Blue cattle are probably going to come home from Thornton next week, but Stabilisers are now off of grazing and they're on to this stuff. So we took them off the permanent pasture deferred grazing about a week ago and brought them onto this 14-acre field. Now this 14-acre field, you'll remember, is where we made the whole crop earlier in the year, and all this grass that's on here is just self-set ryegrass. This is probably the freest draining field that we've got on the farm. As you can tell, it's quite stony. You can see stones everywhere. Probably better to look over here. Look at it. Stony as, which means it's been ideal last couple of weeks whilst it's been stormy weather, and you can see across there they're not really made any mess, even when we had Storm Dara. Like, they just didn't really make any mess at all. Now they're super content out here, and you can see we've got a fence up there, and we're giving them just like a little bit of grass every day, so they've got some fresh standing, so they're not standing in what is kind of mucky and wet over there. And they've got another fence here, the one there, one there, one there, one there. So we've got days already allocated, because Dad's not here this week, so he's going to set all this up for me, which is very nice of him. They're still having hay every day. They should be having 5 bales every 2 days, but they're not really eating that last bale, so we're just giving them 2 bales a day. I think it's because they're eating the ryegrass that's on the floor, and there is actually a bit of self-set clover in here too. So this field should have got drilled with herbal A back in the autumn, after we took the whole crop off, but it was so wet that it never happened, so it's just got left. That's where this grass has grown up from. And then Dad came up with a great idea of just thinking, well, if we're going to feed them in the shed, we might as well just feed them out of grass and not have to bed them, and then run the machinery to bed it and put the straw in for bedding, and then have to run the machinery to take the bedding out again another day, and then pay the contractors to spread it. We might as well just leave the cows out on this, and then the longer we leave them outside, the less work we have to do come spring. We're about halfway across this field. We should have another nearly a week's worth of grazing left, and then we've got another 20 acres for them to run across, which is another stubble field. And all we're doing is rolling 2 bales of hay out, taking up the back fence, and letting them run across the whole field. Easy. It's actually made me wonder how many people have probably got hay in the shed and then stubble left for maize or for spring barley or something like that, that they could just run cows over and just let the cows spread their own muck and not have to put them in the shed, not to waste all the straw and whatever else. Up here for thinking, down there for dancing. Look at that. Cows just doing what cows are supposed to do. If I ain't got jobs to be getting on with, I could sit and watch them all day. Magic. And now for his daily bath. And yes, he gets one every day. The work side, you gotta keep it clean. There we go. Job's a good one. Got a calf that's decided to get out of the shed through the barrier. Typically, it's the worst calf of the year too. Okay, fine. Now it lives in the other end of the shed. Go on, girls, go on. You know what as well? We hadn't had any even attempt to get out this year. So I thought we'd actually cracked it. For once, we hadn't got any get out. But no, there we go. I've got a spare couple of hours, so I've jumped on the hedge cutter quick because I need to go and cut out a gateway where those cows we were feeding earlier have got to move across to get into the next field they're going in. And if I don't go and cut it out now, I'm not sure when I'm gonna get there. Oddly, I've still got loads of hedge cutting to do. I actually said, I think earlier in the year, that I was planning on getting all my hedges pretty much cut back in September. And one way or another, with the rain and trying to grab silage when we could and everything else that went on, I've just not got there at all. I've got most of the contract work done. All I've got for them is roadsides and a couple of horse paddocks. But our fields have just not got touched at all. So I've just been trying to get some tracks done when I get the chance, and hopefully it'll dry up enough soon to get some fields done as well.
All right. Come on. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. All right.
That's that all trimmed up. Took the big old bush down to a nice little Brazilian. If you don't know what that means, ask your parents. Oh, FYI, more balloons. And there's 2 more in the yard that Dad found, which takes us up to a nice tidy little 20. Which, considering we started the count, I think it was the 16th of September, so it's less than 3 months. And we were at 20. Me, Kate and Wilfred went to the local Christmas light switch on a couple of weeks ago, and the local building society were giving away helium balloons to the kids, and the kids were just letting them go. And I was fuming on 2 counts. Firstly, because they were doing it, and secondly, because the wind were in the wrong direction, and I ain't gonna be able to add them to the count. Just like, it's just so thoughtless. It's just no, it's like, make the balloon, give the balloon away, don't care about what happens afterwards. Oh, it drives me mad. Just put a bit of thought to it, people. So back a few weeks ago when we weaned the calves, I said to you guys that I was going to try and make a data sheet available for everyone to use to help you work out some of the metrics on your farm. And I have done exactly that. So here is something that some of you guys have been waiting for. So if we head to baldiesfarm.com and we click on this header, data sheets, it comes up with some downloads. Now, currently I have a performance data sheet over this side, which is a 1 to 100 calves. Now this works, I will make some bigger versions. So if you have 200 or 300 calves, for example, you'll be able to get bigger versions of this underneath. But if you download this, and once it's downloaded, if we click on it and open the file into Excel, we get this sheet. Now, if you are on Mac, this sheet should work for you too. I have a Mac at home and it works perfectly fine. I recommend you zoom in to 70%. And on here, we have a bunch of headers along the top. This colored area here on the right-hand side is all formula. So try not to change anything there. That'll all get filled in automatically when you fill in what's on the left-hand side. But here we have the ability to add in a calf number. So what I normally do is add in the last 4 digits of a calf number. So for example, let's say calf 2846 and it's a female. It's a breed as a stabilizer, so you just put in prefix, and then we say it's going to be born on the 1st of March. Its birth weight was 35 kilograms and its mother was 1122. All of this information can be put in at birth, So when that calf is born, we can fill in all this information, save it, and then come back and fill in the last 4 columns when we wean the calf. But for example, let's say we know that the dam's weight at weaning was 600 kilos. If we want to put in the sire here, we can do, but it's not important. And we know that the weaning date was, for example, the 30th of October. That means that the calf has been on farm for 243 days. You can see here it's already started to fill in some stuff, but it won't get this accurate until we put in the calf's weaning weight. We'll say that this calf was 300 kilos. When we put it in, it now gives us the fact that the calf was on farm for 243 days. Its daily live weight gain over that period was 1.09 kilos a day. Its adjusted 200-day weaning weight was 253 kilos, which gives you a 50% cow-calf ratio at weaning. And adjusted for 200 days, it's a 42.18%, which gives you a really productive cow. Let's, for example, say that this cow still weaned a 300 kilo calf, but the cow weighed 750 kilos. All of a sudden, we now have a red box around this adjusted cow-calf ratio, and that's because the ratio has dropped below 35%. So you can fill this whole sheet in, and it will give you animals to look at that potentially are culls. Now, this data sheet is completely free to use. I ask for nothing. I don't ask for email addresses. I don't ask for money, nothing. You just download this sheet and fill it in with your information, and you can have everything that's going on in your herd on a piece of paper right in front of you. And it'll help you make herd management decisions, it helps you make culling decisions, it helps you work out whether an animal is actually performing well and giving you a good calf, but actually is quite heavy and maybe you want to bring that mature weight down, or it might highlight an animal that isn't performing well because it's about the right weight or it's really heavy and underperforming with its weaning weights. This is a really great sheet. As I say, it's completely free, so I implore you to use it. I'll do a proper video exactly how this works and go into more detail. That's just a standalone video, but honestly, go to my website, boldysfarm.com, click on the header data sheets and download this and use it on your farm. I'm also gonna create a couple more data sheets that are gonna allow you to work out things like livestock units per hectare, which is something that's relatively difficult to find a calculator for, but actually quite easy to make one. So I'll put all of that stuff under that header. So if you follow me on Instagram, I will keep letting you know when more data sheets are available on the website, and then you can just go on there and download them. They'll all be for free. It's all just for the benefit of the industry. It's not for me at all. I honestly just ask that you use it to make good management decisions. Cheers. Anyway, I'm going to sign off because I've got nursery duty to do. Whatever you head up to this weekend, have a good one, and I'll see you in a bit. Ta-da! Hey, if you haven't seen it already, why not check out this video? Or you can subscribe by clicking on that logo. Alternatively, head to www.boldysfarm.com where you can read more about the farm, check out some blog posts, or treat yourself to some of the amazing clothing that we wear here every single day. Cheers.